Hey, what's up, guys? Going for my walk again here, having some ideas flowing. So thought I would record this voice memo, see what comes up. Today I'm just reflecting on the power of the feminine. Are you guys noticing the power of the feminine? You know, I talk a lot about the age of Aquarius. I think we're in it already. And it's here, and I just see women are just winning, man. Women are killing it. They're just winning, and men are struggling. Everything has its cycles. Some thoughts that are coming to my mind are I'm noticing how powerful women are becoming. I've noticed it over the past, 15 years. There's been a shift. If you remember in the 90s, early 2000s, like the hip hop, it was always like the hip hop where, and rap was like Eminem and Tupac, and they, not Tupac as much, but a lot of these rappers would bash women and objectify women. And it was the era of the masculine, right? And I started to notice it over time where I'm very observant, and I've noticed it over the years, and then the music started switching, you start switching to Saweetie and Lotto and Meg Thee Stallion, and just take a look at how music has switched. It's switched from the masculine empowerment to the feminine empowerment. And that's great. I'm all for it. I just, as a man, I'm noticing that men are struggling now though, and it's like, as a man, like, I'm like, damn, dude, my brothers out there are struggling. And I think what I talk a lot about on the channel too is that, the masculine has held down the feminine for far too long. And so what we reap what we sow, right? What goes around comes around. And, I just think about how, how a lot of men have damaged women. Not all men are bad, right? But, there's been a lot of men out there that have damaged these little girls and damaged these women. And, you think about young girls who've been molested or, cheated on and, all these things, and it happens to men too. But I think more often it happens to these little girls, and they grow up to be man haters. They grow up to be young women who just don't trust men and don't like men. And I see women on their journey of empowerment. They're like, what do I need a man for? A man just adds drama to my life. A man just adds pain and suffering to my life. And I just see so many women, like, for example, today, or every day I notice it, but today I just really was noticing it, like just hanging out at the local Starbucks. And I was just sitting there, I'm just watching every person that walks into Starbucks. Also, it's a Starbucks, so that plays a factor. I mean, if I was sitting at an AutoZone, it would probably be men walking in, right? But I'm just saying, at Starbucks, it was like every person walking in to the Starbucks was a girl, was a woman. I just see women out, like always out. Like they're the ones getting the jobs. They're the ones making the money. They're the ones hustling, dude. And dude, women are powerful, man. And like I said, the masculine has held down that feminine energy, that feminine spirit for far too long. And now the masculine is reaping what we sow, suffering the consequences. But I just, like I said, seeing all the women out and about, and then I look on the corner and there's this single mother, just struggling to take care of her kids. She's crossing the crosswalk over there in Pomona. She probably doesn't have a car, and she's just pushing her kids, walking them around. Single mother, where's the father? So it's just, there's a massive imbalance happening. I don't know how we can fix it. How do we fix it? I just think women are becoming so powerful, and they're just questioning their need for a man. So there's a lot of single women. I think, and the same goes for men too. There's a lot of single men who are just like, man, what's the point of a relationship? I remember growing up, I would always question the growing population rate. I was always wondering, how is there enough resources for the growing population? And I think that was an issue for a while there, but you start to look more into it, and I think that they would say, and they would argue that the population is actually declining. The population is declining. There's more single people, less sex, less families being made. I think the economy has a big part to play in that. The baby boomers I think studies have shown that the baby boomers have had the best generation. they could they could support a family and own a home and support a family on a one income. So the man could go out and work and the woman could stay home and take care of the house and take care of the kids. But these days, that is long gone. And like I said, I'm just seeing so many women out and about just killing it. Just killing it, man. And it's amazing to see it. We need that. I think we need more women in political positions, and we need there's something that a woman just has, that special touch that a man could never have. You know, what do they say? A woman turns a house into a home. But yeah, like I said, it takes a woman's touch. A woman just has that special touch, and we need women in political positions, and we need that empathy. You know, just that motherly instinct. We need that motherly instinct to lead our countries. You know, we need that motherly instinct to lead our countries and keep us out of war and keep us at peace and keep us at the frequency of love. And that's what we need. And I think that's why there's this shift is happening. And it's more complex than that, more complicated than that. I think just nature has its grand cycles, smaller cycles of time, larger cycles of time, where things kind of go masculine, feminine. Everything is connected. You know, you think about masculine, feminine. You think about hot, cold, day, night. You think about contraction and expansion. It's all connected. It's all connected. But I can't stop to wonder, and I can't stop to think about it. I can't stop to wonder what will happen to the future if there's not enough men and there's only women. You know, I think women are just, you know, like I said, if we're not procreating enough, what would happen to humanity, and especially with AI and everything, you know, what's going to happen? And it just makes me think, as men, how can we be better? As men, how can we be better? And as women, how can they be more forgiving? I don't know. These are just thoughts that I'm having. Like I said, just seeing them out and about, and it's just that time, you know, the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. You know, it's interesting to see. Social media has a huge part to play in this. You know, I think, you know, for example, you know, you think about Instagram and TikTok. Who's killing it on Instagram and TikTok? The pretty girls. You know, you got to be pretty to be on Instagram and TikTok, and that's why I do YouTube. I'm not pretty. You know, I'm an average looking guy, but I have a beautiful soul and I'm creative. So YouTube is my platform, but women are killing it on every platform. They're nice to look at. They're great communicators, and, you know, so social media and, you know, look at all these girls making millions of dollars on OnlyFans. You know, this is what our society has become. So as men, how can we be better? And as women, how can we be more understanding? As women, how can they lead humanity into this next phase, into this next age, this next generation? You know, for example, I think about Star Wars. You think about Star Wars, what is her name? You know, the Queen and Princess Amidala and stuff. It's like, in the future, women will be the leaders. You know, women will be the leaders in the future. You know, we need that. We need them to be the leaders. The masculine, the ego of the masculine has caused so much destruction and chaos, fighting, separation. We need the feminine more than ever. You know, it just makes me think. It makes me think about just what great power that the women have, what great power the feminine have. You know, I had a mushroom trip about a year ago. I just took a little bit, you know, and I laid in my bed and tried to enjoy the ride, enjoy the trip, and see what would come up. And something that kept coming up for me was, I almost felt like I was tapping into some past lives. I don't know what it was. It was very strange, but the one thing that definitely stood out to me was just, I kept being shown the feminine, that the feminine is the truth. The feminine is the truth. Like, it just kept showing it to me, like the feminine. And like, it just kept showing it, like, even within myself, like, you know, I have a feminine side to myself. Every man has a feminine side. Every woman has a masculine side. We have these these energies within ourselves. And like I said, I just kept seeing the feminine. It just kept showing it to me. And I feel like I was tapping into a past life where I was a woman. Another one, I felt like I was getting, I don't know if I was a slave or what, but I was getting whipped in my back. And like I said, I don't know what these visions that I was having. It was like these sensations, these visions, these feelings. I don't know what they were. I don't know if they were past lives. I don't know. I don't know what they were. Was it just my imagination? But I was tuning into something. And like I said, I was tuning into, it just kept showing me the feminine over and over. Power of the feminine. And it makes me think about ancient Egypt. When you think about ancient Egypt, the pharaohs and stuff like that, right? They would wear, the men of that era, the men of that time would wear these headdresses, almost like a wig kind of, like these headdresses, and they would wear mascara on their eyelids. These men knew and had great reverence for the feminine. So they tried to embody the feminine. Because when you think about the feminine is the portal that brings life into this world. Sure, the man plants the seed, but the woman, the feminine, you know, they bring that baby, they bring that life into this world through that portal, through the portal of life. And see, in the ancient Egyptians were aware of the power of the feminine. So the men tried to tap into that feminine side. You know, it's usually these spiritual topics that just come to me naturally and intuitively. I've just always been very spiritual. These topics just come to me naturally and intuitively. I don't know how I know so many things. I just know them. I just understand them. And it's like, I'll talk about something that I just feel to be true. I'll just talk about something that I feel to be right. And then I'll come across something that illustrates that my intuition was right all along. Like I said, how I'm always talking about that the masculine needs to embrace its feminine side. We need to embrace our feminine side. You know, as men, we're so caught up and ashamed of our feminine side. We're so caught up and ashamed of being called gay or, you know, different things. And, you know, we're so afraid, you know, we gotta be macho man. We gotta be macho men and all that, right? We gotta, you know, especially in the Latino community and stuff, like you don't cry, mijo. You know, you can't express your emotions, can't express your feelings. And it causes men to bottle these things up. And when they bottle these things up, why do so many men want to, you know, delete themselves? Because men don't know how to express. Men don't know how to express their feelings and their emotions. And that's why I talk about tuning in and tapping into the feminine. As men, we have to tap into the feminine. Like I said, men and women both have masculine and feminine within them. There's no shame in embracing your feminine. We have to get past that. We each have the masculine and the feminine within us. And so if as men, so like I said, I'm trying to figure out as men, how do we become better for society? How do we become better? The answer's right there. Like I always say, we got to tap into our feminine. You know, women are becoming masculine. Women are becoming masculine because the men aren't doing it. So they're becoming masculine, you know? So I don't know. Everything is playing out just as it's meant to. Everything is playing out just as it's meant to. But I do think that as men, we need to get past this fear and the shame. We need to get past it. We need to embrace the feminine. The feminine is the truth. The feminine is the power. But so is the masculine too. Like maintain that frame of the masculine as well, right? Like everything is about balance, right? Like as a man, we can raise our feminine up a little bit, but still maintain that masculine frame of, you know, leadership, protection, decision making, decisiveness. We can still exemplify and portray the masculine characteristics while also embracing our feminine side of emotional maturity, understanding, communication, empathy, right? So that's what we need to see in life. We need to see the sacred union where the divine masculine, not the toxic masculine, and the divine feminine unite. And we lead humanity and we lead the world into this new age, this new generation. We need it. We need it. And so I think I'll close it out here. So it seems like this video is talking about the masculine and the feminine. And so I hope you took value out of it. Thanks.